My name is Cora and welcome to Craftopia, where we are creating a safe space for artists and crafters of all ages and experience levels to learn, create, explore, and grow. I'd like to invite you to check out our website at www.crafttopiawa.com, where you can learn more about our organization and vision and see a list of upcoming classes. You can also follow us on social media at CrafttopiaWA. Now, pull up a chair, get comfortable, and let's get crafty.
Hey friends, so today we're going to be making fun bead keychains. So your kit is going to include everything that you need to make a keychain, though I would recommend probably having a pair of scissors handy in case you want to trim off your little tails, and a little dot of glue might not be a horrible idea. I haven't had any issues with my keychain coming undone, but I am, again, it never hurts to be a little extra cautious. So if you do have a dot of glue just to put on the knot, that is also okay. Again, not necessary. So the beads that are in your kit are going to vary a little bit. You should have enough letter beads to spell a word, and then you'll have a scoop from our mystery bead bin here. So the rest of your bead contents will vary by scoop. It is a giant bucket of beads, so who knows what you might get. Here's just an example of a scoop from our bin. As you can see, you might even get some bonus letters. So to start, we're going to take, well, okay, let me back up just a second. There are a couple of different ways that you can make your key ring. So it's up to you if you want to do one string down or if you wanted to do two, or technically you could do more than that even. I'm going to show you how I started, but there are other ways as well. So I like to take my fishing line, which is going to be really hard to see here because it is small and clear. And I will try to line up my two little tails as close as possible to each other. It doesn't have to be perfect. And so that leaves me with this loop on the other end. I'm going to take my little loop, I'm going to tuck it through my key ring just a little bit, not all the way. So now I've got my loop and my key ring. And then I'm going to grab my tails, I'm going to thread them through the loop that I just made and pull it tight. So this is called a lark's head knot, and it's a great way for joining something onto something that is solid. Now, the key ring isn't technically solid, it does have little splits, but this is still a lot easier than other things. You can just tie it like a double knot and then put a dot of glue. If you're going to tie like that, I definitely recommend putting some glue on there, just because that key ring is going to get a lot of pull. But the fishing line, while it is small, is pretty strong, so it should hold up a long time for you. Now, if you want to do multiple, you can cut, pardon the dog is playing in the background, you can cut your fishing line and then do this twice so that you've got two pieces like this. I do like to make sure I'm stringing my beads on two. It again just makes it a little bit stronger. You can also just string on one and tie knots at the very end as well. That is perfectly acceptable. So it's up to you how you want to do it. I'm just going to show you this way because I do think that it is one of the strongest ways to keep it all together. So we're going to pretend, even though I do have two pieces down here, we're going to use them as one. So I'm going to start, let's see, I think I had the letters fun here. So there's my, oh, that's a Z, not an N. That's also a Z. Well, maybe I've got fuzz. Maybe we'll do fuzz because that looks like what the letters I have. I just grabbed some random letters out and it looks like I ended up with a lot of Z's and not N's like I thought I did. So we'll do fuzz. Why not? And let's see, what else do I want to do? I'm going to start with this big crystal ball up top. I like putting a larger bead at the top so that it's the one that's up on the key ring. And I will say you probably are going to have a lot of smaller beads in there. They're a little tricky to use, but you can certainly use them. Just be careful because some of the smaller beads are so small that they will actually end up fitting inside the hole of your larger beads. So if you want to figure out your layout ahead of time, you can certainly be that clever. I am feeling kind of just, let's start stringing and see what happens today. Ooh, I like that purple one. That purple one is cool. Maybe we'll use that in there, not the red. Ooh, there's another really fancy purple one. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt of beads. You never know what you're going to get. So I'm just stringing them on both of my pieces of fishing line. And then we're going to go with this cool shamrock because I love shamrocks. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my fuzz. Oh, and that one's got beads. See what I meant about beads getting stuck in other ones? See if I can use my fishing line to pop that out. If not, use just the point of my scissors very, very carefully. We don't want to cut ourselves. And now I can put that on my string. I think I'm going to do two Z's. I don't know. I'm kind of wishing I had a Y now. I might go dig for a Y later. But we'll just do fuzz. Your words are going to be much nicer because they're actually thought out and not just random. So here we go. I've got the start of my beads there. Then, because I like symmetry, I'm going to repeat this pattern going the other way. Again, you certainly don't have to. You can string your beads on however you like. So there's my shamrock, another purple bead. It's not the same purple bead, but it's purple, so it'll still balance. Now I need to find like a little shiny bead. Let's see. I think that one will work. It actually has a little bit of purple tint to it as well. And then finish off with a white bead. Do I want another crystal or do I want to do this cool glass one? No, I'm going to do another crystal, and I'm actually going to make it smaller because I'm going to show you how I like to finish these off. So let me get this on here first. Okay. So as far as finishing your keychain, you could, again, just tie a giant knot. You would have to tie a whole bunch of knots here at the end to make sure that your bead doesn't slip over it, but that is definitely an option. Again, anytime we're going to do a knot that's hanging out, you're going to want to probably put a little dot of glue to secure. I am going to take one of my strings, though, and pull it out from my last couple beads. So I think I'm going to pull it out to where this shamrock is. So I'm just going to slide these down, grab one of the two, and pull it back through. You could certainly plan ahead and not have to pull it back out, but since I was just making it on the go and I didn't really know exactly what I was going to be making, I just put it all together first. So here comes a little bit of the trickier part. We're going to take the one that we just pulled out and we're going to forget about it for a second. We're going to take our one that's still attached, go over our last bead, so skip it, and then we're going to string it back through the two before that. Now, don't worry about your beads coming down. We're going to tighten them up later, so that does not matter. So I'm just going to string back to those beads. So see how I'm looping my last bead on the string? And then I've got my other two there. And I'm going to take it back and pull it tight so that it meets where the other string we pulled out comes out. So pull. I'm going to try to get it as tight as I can now. And this is where I'm going to add my knot. See, this way our knot is hiding between the beads. It's not going to show as much. So I'm just going to crisscross my fishing line, pull one through, and then pull it nice and tight. And then I'm going to do it again. Crisscross, pull it through. Adira apparently does not like my tying technique. And then one more time just for good measure because I don't like my knots coming undone. So this would be a great place to put a little dot of glue if you have it. Again, I'm not going to worry about that today. Now we can take our fishing line and feed it back through a couple of beads. This will again help hide tails. So I'm just going to pull open that shamrock and see if I can string it up through my fuzz. So not looping over any, we're going to go straight up. If you have really small holes on your beads, this might be a little tricky. The bigger holes are definitely a bit easier for that, but thankfully the fishing line is pretty stiff, so oftentimes it will go without too much fuss, I say, as I'm having trouble getting mine through. think it's sticking in my shamrock. Oh, nope, there it is. I see it. It's coming out my Z. That works too. It doesn't have to go very far. The goal is just to hide the tail, so that's fine. And I'm going to do the same with my other one. You can go either direction. It doesn't really matter. Whichever way that it seems to want to go, I would just say let it go. No sense in fighting. Oh, and see, that one went up to the other Z. Ta-da! All right, so just quick little snips of these tails close to the bead. Be careful not to cut the big pieces that go between them. And once you have those trimmed, you have a really fantastic, completely custom made by you bead keyring. How cool are those? I can't wait to see what amazing things you come up with.
We hope you had a good time crafting with us today. If you have any questions regarding this project, feel free to leave a comment below or send us an email at info@crafttopiawa.com. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future crafty goodness. Until next time!